There we
Hello,
go.
people.
Everyone
Hello,
can
people.
see me having a boogie. Noah, fancy seeing you here, baby boy. Hope you're all right.
So, no, I think he's first. I don't think he was first, though.
He's showing us first,
I
but on
think his
this one
comment
anyway.
was first. Yeah, his
Oh
first
yeah,
comment. And then we have Elaine. Of course you are. Lol.
yes. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Noah.
So, everybody says
Right,
hello to each other.
right. Let me
How you
just pop.
doing?
I'm
Hi,
trying to
Elaine. Yeah,
multitask.
you're trying to
Uh,
multitask.
I'm trying to
Okay.
multitask for a change.
I'm not
Oh no,
very
you've
good at
already got
multitasking.
it in there. It'll be fine. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Are we all? How are you, Van?
I'm all right. Like I say, I took Noah for his dog walk today. So that was fun. Um, how was your pizza, Noah? By the way, very unhelpful at providing feedback when I'm trying to surreptitiously get you to tell me what you want to eat, so someone else will get it for you. Um, but there we go. But I'm all right. It's sunny. It's not cold. Life is reasonably good right now.
Yeah.
Bizarre thing to say.
Yeah. Very
So
unlike you.
I know. No, I've actually. Hi, Katie. I know you're not in the chat, but hi, Katie. Um, yeah, no, I'm all right. I've actually had a relatively before I went out with Noah this afternoon. I actually had a relatively productive day on my day off. So, hey, Molly Dot. So yeah, but how are you? Other than your ongoing migraine
Yeah. Well,
thing?
actually, today's was the first one in like 3 weeks, so
Uh,
that wasn't bad. But yeah, been feeling tired.
yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like there's been a lot more than 4 months this year already. It's
Mm.
got to be said. It's like, how is it only April, but
But
also,
we
how is
also
it?
have. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, we also have a sunny day today, but it's not warm. It was. How much temp? I think I posted somewhere. What the temp was today. It
Hey,
was
Paula.
3 or 4 Celsius
Um,
this
we
morning.
we got to 16. I don't know what that translates as, but which is not overly warm, but it is. It's
Yeah, no,
April. It's
I guess I
dry.
just thought about posting and I didn't.
I thought you put something somewhere, but
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
It's all right. Yeah,
Everything just swings past,
yeah,
but yeah, all done getting poked. Oh, that's for Noah.
yeah. I
That's for
guess
Noah. Yeah,
he did get poked, as far as I know.
he did.
Figures.
He did. You know, he now has no nipple hair anymore, which he's very happy about, and was also accidental. And he's going to get a bit outraged in the chat in a second for that comment because he was not happy with me
Yeah.
at the time. But that's fine. I can say that. In fact, even better story. So, am I allowed to share this, Noah? I'm going to share it anyway. One of the things was like a heart rate check, and I just said something to him just before he went in. And the first question off the nurse was, "Why is your heart rate so fast?" Because of what I'd said to him, and he just went, "Ooh," like I was beetroot. So yeah, I may have thrown his medical tests out a little bit.
I know, I know. A boogie, says Elaine.
Boogie, a little dance.
Yeah.
So
Oogie woogie. A dog walk.
I stand by what I said.
I was shooketh.
I think he was
Katie says
shooketh.
hi.
Yeah,
Hi, Katie.
I think he was shooketh because he got through his appointment in good time. I think that's what it
Uh,
was.
yeah.
But yeah.
And that's why you were asking.
Yes, me and Katie were coordinating your life for you. So there we go. Fun
And
times.
hello, Molly Dot. Hi. I guess everybody knows that Molly Dot and we know each other like outside of the webs.
Yes.
We actually one of those rare things that you actually meet in real life before you meet online. So we've known each other for years.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that with Noma. So I mean Noah, sorry, not Noma. That's his nickname.
New name. We are watching it together, and I'm grateful you came with. Yes. And Elaine says hi to Molly Dot, and hi Paula. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Are you swimming today? Sprinting? Paula does a lot of sprints.
So I'm getting a phone call off Noah.
Now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Noah.
I am average height. I am not a gnome. What do you mean Noma? Not from the Simpsons. Jesus Christ.
Finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
A word from our sponsors there.
Dang. Oh, poor Noah.
He deserves it.
Go at him. So Molly is asking me if I escaped my migraine yesterday, and I escaped it yesterday, but it came back today. So I was at work and was like, oh no, and I talked about leaving her early and left a little bit early, but not as early as I was planning on. And then went home, had dinner, meditated for an hour.
I wish I could get out of work early. Like the other day, I mean, it was my own fault. Right, totally. Oblivion remaster dropped this week, so it's like, it's fine. I'm not in till such and such a time. It's fine. Stayed up till daft o'clock. Ended up going in early the day after that. Didn't get enough sleep. Migraine. No, I ended up getting out late and having to do jobs outside of my normal range of jobs, which was an experience. So, but I'm off today and I'm off tomorrow. So, all will be good. I will be nice and.
I do not have. I didn't have today off, but I have tomorrow and Sunday off.
No.
I'm not working Saturday. I'm not working Saturday until July probably now because public holidays falling on Saturdays and
no, I've
me
got
having holidays.
I'm back to working my Sundays again now. So hooray!
Huzzah!
I suppose.
Elaine says hi to Paula. Melody says hello to Elaine and Paula. Swingers, yes.
I don't know. I've decided it's best not to ask sometimes. He's been in a very weird mood today, so.
Yeah. Just Well, probably likes it in patches then, I guess. It sounds really hurtful though to get like the patchy things and then
it was even
the hair.
It was even better. So he was having a minor panic on the bus because there's wasps, and there was a wasp on the bus. But nowhere near us, just to be clear. It was on the other side of the bus, but obviously he can't see things normally, but zoomed in on that straight away. And then it disappeared and ended up near his foot. And I'm just there. It's like, just kick it over to the side. It's nearly dead anyway. It'll be fine. So he's there. It's like, look, just pull your plaster off to distract you until it disappears. So he's there pulling it. It's like, oh, just pull it off fast. It won't hurt as much. He was, he doesn't believe anything I say anymore after that because he just went on the bus. So yeah, and then the wasp wandered off and.
I understand that. I understand like being scared of wasps because I wasn't, and then I got stung by one, and after that I was terrified. It hurts.
Yeah, he has a fear of wasps, which I can understand, but it was nearly dead. So and then it flew near a school kid, who looked at it. You could just see him looking at it like, with immense confusion on their face. And then I just heard the bump as he stamped on it. But, you know, some things,
Me going like,
yeah. But it was, you know, when you can just tell it's like on its last legs anyway.
mm.
It was
With
not
the
in a good
mercy
shape.
kill.
Yeah, I
It was-
think so.
Okay, I
I
think.
don't think that was the idea on the kids in the kid's head, to be clear, but I
Mm.
think realistically it probably was. So,
Mm.
and it stopped Noah jumping out of a window. So,
And Paula is doing some side eyes. I don't know why.
people are after my secrets. That's what it is. But there are no secrets about me.
Ah.
So,
No. And Molly does prefer smooth-chested men. Okay.
it's not taking us long to derail the chat, has it, about books? Just to be clear,
So
11
what
minutes,
happened to
no
the
books
chat?
mentioned.
We'll get there. And yeah, the ECG took some hair off. Yeah, that's what I meant. And Paula says hi to Elaine, Omiji, and then you need to share Ben's secrets now, Noah. Yeah.
He doesn't know.
And Molly dot waves to the screen.
I think he's misunderstood.
Yeah. Oh well.
Like it's a
So
surprise.
excited about his new little book.
Oh yeah, I've got to cheer him up. I bought him the next ACOTAR book, which is a Court of Frost and Starlight, I think.
I have no clue.
So
I just like I block them out of my head.
it's the small one. So
I don't know.
or average size, as
they're
Noah
up in
would
the
call
young,
it.
They're up in the young adult teen section in the library, and I rarely go up there. So
I find that fascinating because they're not young adult over here. Interestingly enough.
no, it's like, wow, I'm average height. What does that have to do with the book? And Paula is not streaming today. Okay. Oh, what did I do?
I think it's because I called him Noma.
Oh. Oh, right. Jesus.
It's fine.
Not too bright.
It's a Friday. It's been a long week. In a long year.
Yes, yeah. Ooh. We'll come back to the books. And I think there's a lot of laughter. And I goes, loudspeaker. How dare you? And so how ifs, everyone? We've gone through the hallways of ifs, I think. Glad to hear you, I didn't, but Triptan and rest helped a lot. Yeah, I forgot I have a little pouch for meds, and of course I forgot to refill the Triptans after I took the last one.
Oh no.
So I didn't have any. But yeah, I'm okay now, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure whether today is a continuation of yesterday or something new. Yeah,
Oh.
it's very hard to know when it comes to migraines.
Oh, I don't get them often, fortunately.
Yeah, that's good.
But
I feel for those people who have like several attacks a week. That must be.
yeah,
It was near us across from me.
it wasn't.
The wasp.
It wasn't near us.
When are you buying books?
No, I'm actually not. So I bought a book yesterday, which wasn't even for me. I had a pre-order come yesterday, which is for me.
That's the one behind you, isn't it?
Yeah, that pretty one. So I'll be starting that probably later on today. Well, or tomorrow, more likely. And then I only have one book to come this month, which is an ebook pre-order of a indie fantasy called, I think it's Queen of Vaughan, if I remember correctly, by Charlotte Goodwin. Which no idea where I heard about it from, but I looked at it and went, oh, it's 99p for pre-order. Why not?
Yeah.
So I've been good after that.
Oh, hello, Kat. How are you?
Hey, Kat.
What's for drunk evil pricks that can't fly a straight lane to save their lives? True enough. True enough. Close to. I was close to jumping in your lap to hide.
Oh, that reminds
So
me.
that
Noah, remind me, text me later. Just text me the word film. I'll know what it means. You won't, but I will. Sorry, that's just reminded me while it's in my head.
Why does they scare me? Yeah, they scare me too, Noah. They are very scary. And says hello to everyone. Say, in Germany, in Woolworths, I got attacked by a wasp. I didn't know they had Woolworths in Germany.
I mean,
I
we
thought
don't
it
have
was
them
like
over.
a British thing.
I know you have them in Australia. I don't think it's the same company. Maybe it is,
No.
and it's just. I mean, we don't have them in Britain anymore. So
No, I was about to say I can't remember seeing them for years.
no, they disappeared in the early 2000s, and it was like
Oh.
one of those moments where something disappears off a high street and everyone sort of mourns it because it's been an institution for so long.
Mm.
But
Oh yeah, because I remember buying sweets from
Pick and Mix.
It's very hard.
The
Tongue twister that.
Pick and Mix, magazines, toys, it just had everything, but in such a small space. But yeah, it's been gone a long time now.
Molly says I tend to be afraid of wasps. Wasps when I'm around scared people because the waving about can upset the wasp. But what I do is I go completely still and hold my breath because I've heard they get attracted by breath.
I did not know that.
I don't know if it's true, but I've
9
heard.
times out of 10, if I'm in a room and there's wasps and there's other people there, I'm the one with the glass and the piece of paper trying to catch it to get it out the window. So
yeah, I'm like that with spiders.
I'm worse with spiders. I prefer wasps to spiders, which is a ridiculous thing to say when you really think about it in the UK anyway. Maybe not in somewhere like Australia where all the spiders are there to kill you. But then again, if Australia has wasps, they probably can shoot the stingers like arrows. So the way that country is.
Yeah. I don't wave when they're near me. I just literally curl up in a ball and maybe cry.
Sounds about right.
Oh dear. And Molly does prefer smooth-chested books. There are some really pretty books that have like established. What's the word? Not established.
You get the felt covering. You get like the felt covered books.
The little like what was like there's something on E, I think. The word. Emano? No. Words, migraines and words, they're not friends.
Embossing.
Yes, thank you.
Had to think then. I won't mind. That's actually embossed on the dust cover, which was a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect it to be textured, so that was quite a nice surprise.
Bees in general evil. Oh no, I love bumblebees. They're so cute and fluffy.
Yeah,
and they go just like.
I had a friend who
otherwise burn.
I had a friend who generally used to want to chase bumblebees around because she found them that cute, so she could squeeze the bums. It's like, no, that's where the stinger is for a start. What are you doing?
It is your both lovely. Are you picking on Noah again, Van?
No, I was very nice to Noah today. I helped him. So, ish.
Cat. Mother and cat. Ellen says hi to Cat. Cat says hello to Elaine. Come back to the books. Good luck, Luna. Well, just wait and see.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. Grateful I don't get migraines yet. Yeah. Don't recommend.
No.
A roommate had them, and we had to literally stop the clock ticking too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. So I don't have any
Yeah.
clocks in the house anymore that aren't digital.
So are you lying when you say you're not book shopping then?
No, I'm not book shopping. Like, genuinely, my hands are here. Do I have any tabs open? I have one tab open, and that is my Goodreads page. Just to remind me what I've read this year, because I'll forget. So, in case I need
Yeah,
it.
I also have to track on Storygraph.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I was looking back and I was like, I've like for the 3 first months I only read 3 books every month. And then Easter happened.
yeah.
and and Scandinavian crime happened.
How's that going? Because I know you were going to be reading a bit of crime. I've not actually picked up with you about books for a couple of weeks, I don't think.
I read 4 Norwegian crime books and 1
Nice.
Swedish. So the 4 Norwegian ones I read in Norwegian and the Swedish one I read in Swedish.
Nice. I've fallen off a cliff with my reading again this week. I wasn't doing great last week, if I'm completely honest. I think it's one of the books I read recently was really, really good. Well, a couple were really good, actually, to be fair. But I had an arc of a book which I'd requested because it looked really interesting, and I got to 6%. And eventually, I actually messaged them and said, "Look, I'm not going to finish this. Like, it's just nothing wrong with it, literally. But you know, when you just hit a book and the writing style is just totally wrong for the mood you're in at the time, it was one of those. So it's like, no, nothing with the book, but I'll come back to it later in the year. And I've not been able to pick anything up since.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago. It was pre-COVID, and there was an Irish fantasy author, and I was given an arc of his book, and then I read the beginning, and it was like so full of cliches and stuff, and I was like, this isn't very good. This isn't very good. So I was just like, what do I do? And I just like sent a message saying, I'm sorry, because we've been like messaging each other on Twitter. So this was actually before I deleted my Twitter account, so long time ago.
Yeah.
And then I sent a message saying, I'm sorry, I'm not going to finish this book, and I'm not going to review your book because it's not quite my cup of tea. Said it really nicely and politely, and then I didn't hear anything back at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just said that it's not my cup of tea.
I mean, not every book.
I read fantasy, but that doesn't mean that I like every fantasy book.
No, not every book is for everyone. That's the key thing, you know, which people get a bit militant about sometimes in certain areas when you don't like certain books. But you know, there's a book out there for everyone, and there's a book out there that's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like what you like.
Yeah. And don't be ashamed of what you like.
No, absolutely not.
What are you doing with film?
Yeah, it's something. So somebody in work wants to go and see a specific film that's out this year, but they want Noah to go because Noah doesn't do well with horror films, and they want to see him jump.
What?
Yeah.
Noah doesn't do well with horror films?
Noah doesn't. If you shout boo at Noah, he will jump out of his skin.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the amount of horror.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I can't remember what film it is. I'll need to go and look. Yeah, I went to see, I think it was Bogeyman with him about 2 years ago. That was like Stephen King adaptation, I think it is, which I didn't know at the time. And literally about 5 times during the movie, I just felt being clamped onto as he jumped and he was getting scared. It was.
Did you try watching a Paranormal Activity with him?
No. I've been to see 2 horror films with him, and I've said I will not sit next to him in a horror film ever again.
All right.
So,
because it's like I remember when it came out, the Paranormal Activity, and it was like said that it's the most scary film I've ever seen, and it was like it got really hyped up, and then I started watching it. I was like watching the time was like, but when is things going to start happening? It wasn't scary at all.
Yeah, I seen it. I don't know if I've. This is one that's going to get me a little bit of flack, like normal. I'm not sure if I've seen Paranormal Activity. I'm not a massive fan of horror films as a rule of thumb, so I don't watch
enough.
them very often. I went to see Blair Witch when it came out. I thought it was just dull.
I got I got seasick.
I mean, I can understand why. To be
I
fair,
I can't handle the
yeah, the wobbly cam.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
goodness gracious, hold your
yeah,
camera.
yeah. But past that, what other horror? I think I've seen two with Noah. One was Black Phone with Kevin Bacon, which was okay. It was
Mm.
fine. I think he jumps at that as well, to be honest.
I
And then
haven't
that
seen
one,
that.
but it's fine, which is a bit of a damning indictment. But there we go. Yeah, Black Phone was aggressively average, is the word I will use to describe it. So
I find a lot of films are though.
yeah, that's fair.
Molly says I'm pretty sure the Australian one is different.
Yeah,
So that's
Woolworths.
Woolworths.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. The Woolworths in Germany have a cafe restaurant at the top. Ooh, that's kind of nice.
I like a good cafe.
Elaine says we had Woolworths replaced by Walmart. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever been in. Oh, I'm not going to say this for 100% sure, but I can't remember being in a Walmart. I know I was in like a food supermarket place in the US, and I think it might have been Walmart.
I've been in a
Not the thing
Walmart.
here. Mm.
But Walmart bought Asda out in the UK years ago. They don't own them anymore because they couldn't compete with Tesco. But Walmart need to be number one, or they don't stay anywhere. Well, that didn't work out too well for them. But yeah, when I went to the US was when Asda and Walmart were the same company, and it was just like being in a big Asda, but with guns, because of course it did. But that's US. I suspect there's slight differences, I suppose. So.
Yeah. Don't forget to spank that like button. I guess you want to spank things. No.
Don't set him off, Luna. Not after the way he's been today. I got a message.
Well, to keep that difference.
Yeah, I got a
And
message
then
last
getting
night.
Stay
Off.
hydrated. Yes, stay hydrated.
Yeah.
I have my tea, and you have your coffee.
I have drank my coffee. So,
No.
but it's fine. I have a child downstairs. They can make me one, possibly if I ask them nicely. So, yes.
Noah has tarantulas. Oh
He
yeah,
does.
I've seen park pictures. Oh, they're really cute.
They're something. I've told him if he ever opens them near me, I will stand on them. They terrify. Genuinely scared of them. Like proper visceral reaction with spiders. Don't like them. I like the snakes though. I do like snakes. He's got a. I don't know. Have you still got the bitey snake? He had a bitey snake, and I wanted to pet the bitey snake because it was a bitey snake.
Oh.
So, because of course I did.
I wouldn't be extra scared around you then. Sweet. I got bitten by a spider in Australia and accidentally caught it in my hat. So I was able to show it to someone who knew it wasn't dangerous. Oh, that was good.
That would terrify me, like genuinely. I'm never going to Australia. Like, I'd love to go.
It's
the place
lovely.
There's too many things.
I snorkeled around the Great Barrier Reef. That was amazing.
That sounds amazing. But then in my head, and it's a Dylan Moran quote from one of his stand-up shows, where he was talking about the wildlife, and he's like basically was describing how everything wants to kill you. And I think he referred to all the fish as swimming knives, and that has just stuck in my head for years. It's like no. I'm English, so I don't do hate, and I don't do things that are going to bite me. So it's like no.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem because my partner is Irish, and the Irish don't seem to do heat either.
No.
But I'm Norwegian, and we do heat because we get sick of the cold.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is UK weather. Although all we do is moan about the weather. Like, let's just be clear here. And I
Mhm.
suspect Ireland is very similar. The weather's always the worst thing in the world. The temperature doesn't really vary that much between winter and summer. It's quite a narrow range compared to a lot of places where.
But I've been in London with like almost 30 degrees Celsius.
It happens, but it's so rare because the clouds are in the way.
It wasn't pleasant,
No.
and like everything stopped working, like the train stopped working, and
I can tell you they haven't started working since.
no, have they ever worked? That's the question.
Yeah, before we sold them to private companies.
Mm.
But that's a political
Yeah,
statement.
but that's
so
a long time ago since they sold them to private companies.
there is.
Years and years.
I'm so happy because in Manchester they're coming back under city control.
All right.
So they've just taken the buses, they've taken the trams, and now they're moving on to the trains locally as well. And
Right.
I'm happy. So
That's good. So my partner flew into Manchester this morning
yes.
and then took a train to Nottingham.
Oh, that's not especially close by UK standards. I should add that for people from big countries in the chat.
Closest. Is it? How far is it?
Nottingham's. It must be an hour and a half on the train.
Oh, yeah.
At least. I don't
Yeah.
know, actually. I'm curious now. An hour and 46 minutes. There we go.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
So.
Yeah. And apparently coming back on Sunday, and there's a football match on Sunday between Manchester City and Nottingham something.
That's a big game as well, surprisingly.
Mm.
So, because they're fighting for third in the league. So there we go.
I'm not very. I don't really know a lot about football. It's fun to watch live. I don't watch it on TV or anything, but it's fun to watch live.
I've not been to a live match for years, but I discovered yesterday, and I was incredibly offended by this. But the word soccer is actually English slang from Oxford University. Obviously, we get very upset when Americans call it soccer. It's actually slang from Oxford University from the 19th century because it was a rugby school back then.
Yeah,
for describing the sport.
Yeah, it makes sense because the Irish also say soccer.
Yeah. Very offensive.
Because football is like Gaelic football, which
different.
It's another thing. Irish sports are another thing.
Yeah.
Molydot has a Velvety book and loves it. Good.
I've not got any Velvety books. I think maybe I need to add some to my collection.
Yeah. That was very nice to me. Yeah. We're very behind on the comments, I think. The sequin covered notebooks. You can flip the sequin direction, which often changes the color.
Yeah, you can get like t-shirts like that as well. So
yeah. Oh, I remember they were like a big hit in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Sometime.
And then you wash them and you just find sequins all over the rest of your clothes for the rest of your life. It's like glitter. It gets everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Much fun. I never understood the clothing.
No. If it's not black or white, I'm not interested, generally speaking.
Yeah. I'm just going to jump around. Get a little bit. Oh, hello, Katie. How are you doing?
I presume that Katie is Noah's Katie, as in the other brain cell, as he describes them.
No.
Or is this a different one?
No,
it's a different Katie.
My Katie.
This is your Katie, not Noah's Katie.
They are not mine, but Katie and I are following each other for a good while.
Hello, Katie.
Yeah,
Not.
Katie's very into gaming.
Oh, well, we'll probably get onto that
Mm.
later because I want to talk about games in a bit.
Oh, right.
So,
What's that to do with books?
because the game has books in it.
Ah,
There we go.
yeah. What? What is this? I don't know what we're talking about here. So,
Oh, it's for the film.
oh yeah, it's the horror.
Yeah, I'll need to check what it is because I can't
Like
remember.
her, but I do get scared. I wish I was
Scared?
terrified.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think if I took my 10-year-old, who is almost Noah's height now, he would be
Elaine.
less afraid.
Yeah, sorry.
Like,
Elaine's
genuinely.
comment, you mean Ikotar?
I am so tempted to just buy Elaine the next book and send her just for my own amusement. But
Who wants with only me and her? There was someone who gave a copy of his book to thousands of book crossers, and it wasn't that good, and a lot of people felt guilty about saying that. Yeah, this wasn't that book though. This was someone from that went to conventions. So this is the arc that I read.
right.
So I met him at Octocon, the Irish convention.
I've not been to a convention yet.
No. Well, this summer, Norcon in Oslo, T Kingfisher, just saying.
That's the point. When is that? I had it written down and lost it.
Middle of June.
Ooh, I've got a week off in June.
It's have a look at the calendar. It's the 13th to 15th.
That might be when I'm off in June. I'm going to let you shoot through the comments while I go and actually double check when I'm off in June. So I'll still be here, but
Yeah.
I'm curious now.
Another movie. And Ben, please.
Do.
Noah loves you, Ben.
Well, that's nice for him.
Yeah, paranormal activity is not scary. Yeah. So, Kat is asking, how do you read horror but not watch it? But I think Noah just said that he watches. The books are usually very scary. Yeah.
You see, I find it the other way around. I actually do find horror movies scarier than books. But I'm not sure why. I can't think of a horror book that I've read that actually does scare me. For whatever reason. I'm looking for.
I read a Norwegian, which is kind of horror science fiction. It's called Darla by Johan Harstad, and it's incredibly creepy. And I read it, and I was living up north in the very, very north of England, of Norway, and it was like snowstorms outside, and you could hear like the wind blowing around the house, and it was cold. And you had this scary book. It was quite the atmosphere.
Yeah, I can imagine that'd be a different sort of thing, like just cabin in the woods sort of style, with the storm going. That
there are
would
other
probably...
houses around, but it's like the wind and the cold and
yeah.
I'm
not off that week. Boo.
Yeah. Oh well. I am jumping here. I wonder if I can't. I watched The Japanese Ring with a Japanese friend. That's supposed to be quite scary.
I've not seen that either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Neither of us like her, and we both only watched it because it was in Japanese. The two of us were trying to get the sofas to swallow us. Yeah. Katie, I like horror movies a lot. Exactly, so Friday the 13th. I wonder if I've seen Friday the 13th. It's an old one.
I have a long time ago. I'm just not a horror film fan. I never used to read horror until I started on here, to be fair.
All right.
So.
I don't remember whether I've seen it. I probably have. But if I've seen it, it's like decades. So
Yeah. I've never felt the need to go back to any of the Friday the 13th. I'm more interested in the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and even those, it's like
maybe
meh.
that's what I watched. Maybe
Yeah, because I sometimes get them mixed up a little bit, but I don't know why. But
I remember watching a Pet Cemetery adaptation, and I watched it on TV. So this, I think it must have been like late 80s. Could that be right?
yeah, there's been a few Pet Cemetery ones, I think.
Yeah,
So
it was quite good. I still haven't read the book.
I've got it behind me, which I'm probably going to read it in July because it's either I've got to read that or it. And Pet Cemetery is half the size, which is why I'm leaning towards that one.
Yeah, I do have Pet Cemetery. I actually ordered it online when I was living in up north again. And then apparently it had taken a detour to Australia. So it was like a stamp on it saying this has been to Australia. I was like, oh, no wonder it took a long time. It's like, how did it end up in Australia?
Why did it go that way?
Yeah, it makes no sense. From the UK. Blair Witch was ridiculous. Role-playing stuff and people think real. Yeah, no, it wasn't real. It was very obviously not real.
No,
The horror movies are comedies to me. I laughed so hard once I choked the pizza we were eating.
a lot of them are like that, to be fair.
Yeah. So a bit of laughter. We already know. Though the best part of horror movies is watching the scaredy cats in the audience. I've yet to see an actually scary one.
You should come over and take Noah to the pictures then.
Yeah.
You'll get your money's worth.
I was watching what's his name again? The director, American, made Nope and Us and Get Out.
Jordan Peele? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Something like that. I'm terrible with names, but I watched Get Out, and it's not like jump scary, but it has kind of another scary feel to it, if that makes sense.
It is Jordan Peele. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I watch? I watched one. Was it that one? Did I watch that with Noah? Oh, now I'm wondering. No, I didn't. I watched it at home. I watched a horror film by Jordan Peele relatively recently, and there was like some monster in the sky that was eating people or something. I can't really remember much about it.
Oh, that
I can't think what it was.
That might be another one. Because I've seen Us and Get Out, and there was no monster in the sky.
No. I can't remember. It's been a while.
I feel like horrors aren't what they used to be. It's more shocking blood. I miss the times of when everything was insinuated. Well, there's different genres of horror. I've seen quite a few Norwegian ones that were quite big back like 15, 20 years ago. 15 years ago. Something.
There does speak English. There does seem to be a bit of a trend, and I've seen it a little bit with probably because fantasy's aiming a little bit younger now, where there's a lot more tell don't show in some things, if that makes sense. And it feels like I don't want to use the word dumbing down because I don't think that's the right term for it. I think that's a bit disingenuous. But I think a lot of horror feels like it's doing that. Either that or everyone's become so desensitized at this point because of how everything else is, which is also something worth considering. But I mean, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because like in the 80s, the very there's a certain vibe that just sort of goes around and comes back around again at some point. So no doubt we'll get more found footage stuff in the next 10 years as the next sort of swing back. To be fair,
I'm jumping comments or chat
That's all
because
right.
there's so much.
There's many.
Yeah, there's many, and Noah has alcohol, so
He does.
so we know that now.
Yep. I already knew this, so. But that's fine. He's a lightweight, so he'll only manage half a glass. He's very excited because I've said, depending on time and how awake I am, I might wander over to Twitch and stream in a bit. So for the first time in a while. So, oh, ow, that hurt.
Elaine's is popping over to Margaret for a few. You may be chatting books when I get back.
No guarantees.
This people is my brother.
Ah.
My brother.
Hello, Luna brother.
I got sunburned when I went to Ireland. How did you manage to get sunburned in Ireland? Well, they do have sun sometimes.
I know
on rare occasions.
I know Noah got sunburnt in Wales, which is perhaps even more impressive. Which I don't know quite how you manage that one because, but yeah.
Yeah. Quokkas. What are quokkas?
I don't even know what they are.
No. Ooh. I need to Google.
I've just noticed that Noah's mentioned
oh, they're super cute.
That they throw children, apparently. Oh, they throw their children to get. I misread Noah's comment a little bit further down. I thought it was saying, yeah, they just throw children. Like, no, they throw their children to get away.
There's even like a. I'll put this in the chat.
Oh, it's a weird little thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Very cute, though. But what about the wallabies?
We actually have wallabies in the UK. Interesting fact.
You?
Yeah, I don't think we're meant to have them. I think they probably escaped from a zoo and ended up breeding. But I believe,
like the parrots in Kensington Gardens.
Yeah, well, I think there's a breeding population. I think it's in Scotland. I'm sure I read where there's just they're quite hard to find, obviously, but like there's areas where they have started to breed, I believe. So I'm sure that's not going to have any issues for the local animals. Quokkas are smaller and friendlier. I mean,
when I was in Australia, we actually saw a lot of. There was like huge forest fires. With like forest fires when we were there, raging ones. So there were a lot of animals that came out from the woods.
Yeah.
Jumping, like kangaroos and stuff into the road. That was super scary.
Kangaroos are terrifying.
Oh gosh, yeah, especially well, it depends on the size.
Yeah, but like you see, like the red kangaroos, the big ones, and they just look like these roided up monsters with giant talons that can just kick your stomach out. And it's like, you know what? No. You're meant to be the cute thing, and you can also kill me. Another reason not to go to Australia.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to
fact. Just because they're velvety, Ben.
I mean, I would do, to be fair, but it would end up being a classic because I think the classics tend to have the velvet covers from memory.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm looking for evidence that these things throw their children at people, and I'm not finding any. So I think Noah is telling lies.
Yeah. So Bolida says it depends on where you are in Dublin, at least where I grew up. Football is soccer. But in Sligo they also say soccer, and in Mullingar I'm pretty also sure they say soccer. Like all the Irish people I know say soccer.
That we must just be the outlier of the world as normal. Then sounds about right, doesn't it? There
What
is a.
about
I wasn't
Blood Red?
going mad. There is a breeding population in Scotland of wallabies. About
Fascinating.
1,700 individuals. There we go.
Oh wow. Colors says no.
Colours?
Just ran the Wild Sheep book. I've forgotten already which story. I'm not sure which story this is. Devil Rejects. Oh yeah. The Devil Rejects was the film, I guess. The horror film. Horror books can be very creepy, but it's harder to jump cuts. Yeah. I'm still talking about animals. I think I read somewhere that they threw the babies when something went so they could get away.
Okay. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm debating watching Get Out. Yeah, it's really good, Molly Out.
I know Jordan Peele writes as well. So he's written a few horror books and short. There was a short story collection that was all over BookTube. Was it last year or the year before? Can't for the life of me think what it's called, but it was meant to be pretty good. So, not read any myself, but...
Yeah. If they throw the baby at me, it's not human, so I'm keeping it.
That's the most cat of answers that you'll ever get.
Yeah. I feel you. There's so many. Hi. Made comment when you were speaking of Irish weather. Well, I assumed as much. And there's a lot of speaking of sweets, so just.
Yes. I've no sweets, so we can run past all the sweets.
Forecast are far too small to throw even human babies. Yeah. Yeah, Yeek Forest Fire. Yeah, they're blah blah blah. I'm not saying blah blah blah, but it's just so many comments.
Very active chat.
Yeah.
The Emu War, that's a true one, and also I think I want to say somewhere around the Falklands years ago, goats beat the UK Air Force because they tried to exterminate the goats and eventually called in attack helicopters, and that didn't work either. And they eventually gave up because they'd introduced the goats. They were destroying the local habitat because they're not meant to be there. We'll cull the goats, get rid of them. No, didn't work. Like,
Still have goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goats are the best animal, just on a side point. I like goats.
Oh, I meant we said football in my part of Dublin, and by football we mean soccer. Oh, all right. Gaelic football for what other parts of the country call football? Or GAA. Yeah.
That's even more confusing to me.
Yeah. Sports. Very confusing stuff. Kat says, I've heard a rumor too that they throw their kids and dash. But it was a meme to make human parents slightly better by comparison. So likely bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan Peele book instead. Yeah, that's the short. Yeah. What was the short? Yeah, I don't remember the short story collection's name either.
Oh,
That
there
would
we
be
go.
different.
Paul has dropped one in. Out There Screaming was a horror anthology.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Peele
Yeah.
does books.
Yeah.
I think he's done a few, actually, to be honest. Oh, that's about to crash. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Do. Right, let's hit that button. There we go.
Cat says, luckily my twin isn't here. Keeping up with the chat is impossible. Just ask Dave and Gareth. Dave and Gareth. Do we know who Dave and Gareth
Yes,
are?
so Gareth is Book Songs and Other Magic, who is, I think he's Plymouth or Portsmouth. He's somewhere South Coast UK. And then Dave is Book Blather, I think, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, they do a load of collab work. I know Gareth writes as well. He's actually an author. So, I know Elaine is doing a reading. I've just done a review on one of his books recently. I can't think of the title of it off the top of my head. And he's a teacher as well. So, many things.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, they're screaming.
He's just double checking the
title.
Elaine's come back, and we still haven't got to book talk yet.
Oh, we're talking
We're
about
nearly
books.
there.
We are talking about books. We are talking about books.
We are. We've finally hit a book.
So here's there's screaming. There we go. And thanks to Paula. I miss JJ.
Jenny Parks.
Where is Jenny?
Probably in work. I know she was working on a close yesterday on a shift. So, yeah, she's probably been good tonight.
Yeah. We need the gutter queen to arrive. Well, we can't control others.
No, we can't.
Back, did I miss the book talk? Not much, Elaine. Books were accidentally briefly mentioned.
We've mainly talked about kangaroos and spiders.
And those little other creatures.
Yeah. Whatever they're called.
What are they called? I want to call them quacks. They were called.
Yeah.
Quackas.
I can't remember. It's already gone out my head.
They're immense. Oh, so cute.
They are cute. They do have cute eyes.
Yeah.
They have like the Disney Pixar eyes that like babies always have that just like go dead wide.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots. That's the other example, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. So that's the Out There Screaming link on Goodreads. I don't really use Goodreads, but if you need it.
I use.
Quote something about Gareth. Yeah, just briefly mentioning the channels. I didn't know Peely was the same Peely as Key and Peela.
Yes, he is. He's also. No, he's not. Hang on. Yeah, it's like a comedy double act. I think it's classed as a comedy. It's a bit hard. I've not seen Puss in Boots, Cat. I've just seen the screenshot. All right, I have seen Shrek though, so I do know who Puss in Boots is from them. So I do occasionally watch movies. I'm not completely like away from that sort of stuff. Possibly. But yeah,
I talked to a librarian today. Speaking of watching stuff, I talked to a librarian today who did not know who the author of Heartstopper was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I listened to speaking of Heartstopper. So at the start of the month, I listened to the short novella, which I think
Nick
is
and
just called
Charlie.
yeah.
Mm.
I actually listened to it at the start of the month. It was all right. I don't think it, bizarre though it sounds, I don't think it works as well as a novella as it does as a graphic novel,
No, it doesn't.
because it just doesn't quite pull together as a total package quite the same. It wasn't
Mm.
bad, and the audio was, one of the narrators was really good and the other one was fine.
Mm.
So worth listening
There's
to.
another one called This Winter.
Yes.
I kind of thought that was okay, but it's not like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't quite have the same. I think there's because of the art style, I think there's a certain like little charm to it
Mm-hmm.
that helps pull it all together.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
when's the last? Because the next one's the last one, right? For in the actual main
So,
Heartstopper series, if I remember
There, I
correctly.
saw, when was it? On Tuesday, Netflix announced that there will not be a series 4. There will be a film.
Okay. This is
So
something that
how
seems.
will they? Yeah, because they're now how I can't remember where they left the series in which book. So have they covered? Which books have they covered? No. Or
I've not seen the
four
series,
books?
but I presume they've only covered the first 2 so far with seasons 1 and 2. I would assume.
No,
So
they're gotten further than that.
have they? Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And there's supposed to be a volume 6 of the graphic novels.
Yeah, I'm sure I read that 6 was going to be the last one of like the Nick and Charlie, because obviously you've got like Solitaire that spins off with.
Yeah.
Is it Charlie's
Tori.
sister, Tori?
Yeah,
Is it
Tori.
Charlie's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I haven't picked up yet. I do need to get to that one.
Hmm.
But I've not watched this again. It involves me watching things, and I don't have enough hours in the day to do all the stuffs.
Yeah,
So
she has that, and she also has like radio silence.
okay.
Which character is that again? It's about one of the. Actually, they changed the whole thing in the
Oops.
Netflix series. So they've taken away some characters and added some other characters.
Of course they did.
Yeah, Alice Oseman wanted them to.
All right. Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough then.
Because there was something about like the character, because yeah, things. So there's those 2 books that is set in like the same universe, and then she also has like Born. What is it called again? The Born something, which is also a book, which has a trans main character. But that's not connected to those books. And then you have Loveless, which has ace representation.
Something that we don't have enough representation of in media, just on a side point.
Yeah.
At the moment.
So I think she's kind of she's picked up some of the stuff from Loveless and put it into the Netflix series.
Okay.
It's not the same character, but she's taken like elements from the book and put into the TV series, which is good.
Yeah.
We need rep.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
More representation is good.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Alpina stream I was watching earlier today. I used an image of him with his big eyes and his hat as my default live journal icon. Do you still use LiveJournal, Molly Dot?
I don't know what LiveJournal is.
Oh, you're so young.
I mean, I'm not that young.
So I think LiveJournal was like a big thing. So it was like before Facebook.
Okay.
So I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
About the time MySpace was starting to get popular. or just before that?
Yeah, around the same time, I think. I never used MySpace.
Yeah, I was allergic to anything that involved talking to people on the internet until considerably later on in my life.
All right,
Because, which this it's something that makes Noah laugh actually, because I never used to do like on video games. I never used to do online video games because I don't play well with others. Noah again is evidence of this. If you ever watch us stream together, that I do not play well with others. So it's like I talk to people during the day at work. I don't want to talk to people when I finish work. I work retail. Like no more people after the day.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think the Pillars Wikipedia article is out of date. I haven't looked very carefully, but I can't see any mention of his book. Yeah, there's many problems with Wikipedia, to be honest with you. They're yeah. The articles are made by the audience, sort of like regular people. So if they're not nobody updating them, they will not be updated.
Yeah.
I'll have to check lately.
Oh no, you've got another head. You've got a headache as well, Cat. Oh no.
I have to keep volume down for a headache. Oh, boo.
I'm going to be honest.
Oh yes.
Luna's streams do feel like the migraine support group sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like everybody comes in and it's like, yeah.
I have a migraine.
We
I
all
can relate.
We all feel the pain together.
Yeah. Everyone should just watch Central World.
I don't know what that is, and as Noah's recommending it, I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah.
So, for me personally.
Yeah. Central World. Are you just checking out half?
This is preference in box, and that's okay.
Yeah. Hope you feel better soon, Kat. Yeah, hope you feel better soon. Take care of your head. Born Identity. I haven't watched Born Identity.
I don't think I've seen it either. Shockingly.
Yeah. But... Hi, Jen. How are you doing?
Hiya. It's a.
Is NC just a question? NC, is that for the US state or does it stand for something else? Because I don't know. I'm horrible with the states in the US, especially the shortenings.
Yeah, I look at them sometimes and I got confused the other day because Elaine, obviously not US, but Elaine was talking, and I forget that different countries sometimes have the same city names for different places. So said the word London, and my mind obviously went straight to UK. Didn't mean UK, and it's like no, it doesn't take much to confuse me on a good day. But it's like, there's so much in like Canada and America as well because they're just so big. It's like it doesn't take much to throw me. I also probably couldn't name all the American states though, if I'm completely honest. So
apparently there's an Oslo in the US.
Is there?
That very fascinating.
I didn't know
Oslo,
that.
US. I don't know which state. Might be more of them for all I know. I was just like, really? It's a funny animated musical series. Hello, Jen. Paula had to go and have dinner.
Enjoy your dinner, Paula. You may already be gone, but
yeah, that was 5 minutes ago. I'm going to get the Jordan Peele book, says Molly Dot. I think he has some books. LiveJournal was the best social media before social media. I agreed.
social media before it became a toxic waste fire, as it often is. Not always, but it can be.
Yeah. I think what I liked about LiveJournal was like you only saw the people you were following.
Yeah,
You didn't see others.
yeah.
Like
Blue
other
Skies.
social media was before Meta.
Yeah, Blue Sky's a little bit like that. It's a bit like if you took most of the
Yeah.
toxic things out of Twitter.
Yeah, same
It's a
with
people.
Mastodon.
Yeah, but you don't have as much interaction on there, which is not necessarily a bad thing, depending on what the interaction's like. But you know, fun times.
Yeah. That was no more tea. No more
Yeah.
tea.
No more tea, no more coffee either. Boo.
Boo. But you play D&D.
I'm trying to think what I said. I mean, I'm playing D&D very, very soon, and I'm very excited. I have plans.
Oh.
So.
Do you DM?
I do. I do. Not very often. I don't like doing it because the group that we have, which includes Noah, it's like trying to herd bees at times. So, and it's even worse when I'm a player because I am far, far worse than everybody else. I'm aware of this. Because last time I was a player, they said to me, you cannot break, it's impossible for you to do this thing. And that to me is a challenge. Like, you tell me I can't break something, I will find a way. So I'm excited because I'm getting to play a religious character in my next game. So I'm very excited.
Finally admitting you're the... Is this okay?
Yep.
Molodot says, other score includes Erin E. Adams, Violet Allen, Leslie Neka, long name, Neka Arima, Morris Brodas, I can't pronounce, sorry, Chesia Burke, P. J. Lee Clark, Ezra Clayton Daniels, Hannah Laura, so many names. Jemison.
N.K. Jemisin, I do like. I need to finish the Broken Earth trilogy, actually.
Yeah, I still haven't read. It's almost embarrassing because I've been meaning to for years. Still haven't.
I've read book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is better than book 2. Like, there is like that middle book issue a little bit. Book 2 is still really good.
Yeah.
But I've still got book 3 to read.
Justin C.K., L.D. Lewis, Neddy Okorafor, Tochi Onyebuchi, Rebecca Ronhorst, Nicole D. Sconiers. I'm probably pronouncing everything incorrectly. Ryan Amilcar Scott, Terence Taylor, and Cadwell Turnbull.
I've read a little.
I've read lots of stories. Yeah.
So have I read anything by Nnedi Okorafor? I might have. The name rings a bell. I read Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark, and it was quite hyped up, which I think was the problem. I went in with very high expectations and it didn't meet them, which was a problem. And I listened to something by Rebecca Roanhorse last year. Can't think what it was. Decent enough. I enjoyed it. I mean, that looks like a good.
I'm terrible with remembering things.
No, it'll be.
That's why I have like Storygraph, not Storygraph. Storygraph.
Yeah. My issue with Storygraph this year has very much been I've read a lot of indies that I've had to manually add myself. So, because I realized I did the count just before I came on, and so far this year, I've only read 9 books from major publishers out of 27. Everything else has been indie or self-published. So,
I think I'm just going to. I've read Trail of Lighting by Rebecca Roanhorse.
I can't think what it is that I read. I remember thinking it was pretty good, actually. Apparently, I can't spell. That's always fun. It was a short story. I didn't realize
I-
she'd written Star Wars books though. Ooh,
She's also done Black Panther and stuff.
I knew she'd done that. I just didn't know she. Oh, I might have to go and check some of those out. Right, let's see if we can find this bloody book.
So, my first read of Okorafor was Binti. So I read
That's-
the three Binti novellas, and I read the short story that came with that, and I read Who First Death, and Attack a Witch, and Remote Control, and I also have. I actually was approved for an arc of Death of the Author, which is her new book. But that was after they changed the format. The NetGalley changed the format.
Right. I don't use NetGalley.
Nah,
Um,
I stopped. I can't
yeah.
read their books.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what it was. I just found it. I only used it a couple of times. I found it a bit frustrating. I have used Book Sirens, but I've taken a step back from that now a little bit because there was a bit of controversy earlier this year for a book that they had on there for an arc, and some of the content on it was quite questionable. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they doubled down and said, we're not responsible for the stuff on our website. And everyone else turned around and went, but it's your website, though. You can just say no. And eventually they backed off and took it down. So I've not really requested anything for that. I just go and ask the authors now because it's mainly indies that I do anyway.
Yeah.
So they're quite often quite happy to just go, yeah, read the book, tell people about it, especially if you like it. So
yeah, I sometimes get stuff from outside Norway, but Norway is fairly easy.
Yeah, like I say, I've just started messaging them now. Like,
I have
you
too many
mentioned this
books
book.
to read, so I've not asked for anything in ages.
No, it's I'm trying not to because I don't need to inflate my list anymore. But like, there's just the occasional one where I look at it and go, you know what, that looks real. And to be fair, the last one I did it for was Whisper of the Storm by his name's completely gone now. Z.B. Steele, which is his first like full length novel and best read of the year. Like it reminded me of when I used to read when I first started reading fantasy, when I was hitting like David Gemmell and stuff like that. Different writing style, but it just gave me that same sort of vibe and feeling. It's like, you know what? Yeah. So that was the last one that I was. Oh no, sorry. Oh no, I didn't get an arc for that one. I was told I was going to get sent an arc, and then the author forgot. So I bought it anyway and still loved it. So, which is fine. I don't mind. But quite often, what I'll do is if I get an arc and I like it, I'll buy a physical version anyway to show support.
Yeah,
so.
I read Emma Newman's new book. I got an arc in November, October, something. So I've read it, but it's not out until May.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh, I have to wait so long.
No, I do know.
Because
I do.
I pre-ordered the physical copy, but I pre-ordered it from the UK, and I'm wondering if that was a bad choice since she's coming to NorCon. So sometimes getting books from the UK takes a long time.
Yeah, we haven't made that easy at all.
So I might actually just cancel it and then try and see if I can get it from Norway, but it depends on. I'm kind of not sure what to do.
Yeah.
Because if they have to order it from the UK and then I have to wait for them to get it, and then I'll have to get Who knows what to do?
A lot of potential faff.
Oh yeah. Is this about being the instigator?
I am innocent of all charges.
I try to remember the update. The Wikipedia article later says Molly Centaur World is a weird cartoon, right?
I'm wondering if I know what it is, and I just know the name isn't clicking.
Noah says it is and that it's funny. And Jen
North
says, "Yep,
Carolina.
North Carolina." Yeah, it's like NC. And then I keep forgetting like what is like if anyone like asked me what are the name of the U.S. states. I was like, oh, there's loads of them. Do I remember all of them? I don't think so.
I definitely couldn't point to most of them on a map.
Oh, I
Like,
couldn't. No,
I
no,
I
couldn't.
for years and years and years had my idea of the city order of Washington, Boston, New York in my head, and it was totally wrong. I looked at a map and went, "Oh, whoops!"
Whoops.
But it's fine.
I've been to the US once, and I flew into New York, so I know where that is approximately.
I've been
And I
through
know
New
that
York.
I have family in Boston, so I know like that's north of that. And then I went to Washington State, not Washington D.C., but Washington State. So because I have a friend in, well, not anymore, but she used to live in Tacoma, of all places. So it's not far from Seattle. So I went to see her.
You
And
see,
then
I hear Tacoma and I think of a video game.
of course
So
you do.
there we go.
Yeah. But anyway, and then I spent like time with her, and we went up to Canada for a bit, and then we came back to her place, and then I went to Las Vegas.
I've been there. I was too young.
It was the most surreal place I have ever been. It was bonkers.
Yeah, I believe it's changed a bit, I believe, since I went, because I went in, God, when would it have been? Would have been the 90s. I'd have only been a teenager at the time. So absolutely no use pointing me going to Vegas realistically. But we stayed off the main strip for a few days because my dad's got his best mate emigrated to California because his wife was like dual nationality US, UK, and she went over to work at Stanford University. So we went over, stayed with them, and we ended up going to Vegas, and it was odd. I'm more shocked that I didn't get sunburnt in Vegas, bizarrely enough, just getting back to the sunburnt comment from earlier. But it's not somewhere I've ever felt the need to go back to. Like, I'd go back to oh no, this is where my brain fails me. Not Yosemite. No, yeah, Yosemite. I'd go back to Yosemite in a heartbeat to like the national park with the giant redwoods and everything. Beautiful scenery. But Vegas, no.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No, we went to Red Rock Mountains when I was there. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, we had this moment but it was only a short moment because, of course, it was like a very short moment of absolute silence, or like as silent as you can get in the desert.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was lost like a minute or something, and then there was like a car coming up, driving past, filming out the window. I was like, what?
No, the one that always gets me.
Why are you not stopping and watching the nice scenery? No,
the one that always got me, because we stayed in chalets, like wooden chalets, and one of the selling points was the bear-proof lock on the doors, right? Which is fine. There's bears. I understand this. The bear-proof lock was literally a thin hook and eyelet thing.
Really?
So genuinely, it wouldn't have stopped my cat, let alone a bear. And then when we got up the next day, we'd obviously heard snuffling in the night. Bear prints outside, cars with smashed windows because people had left food in the car on the front seat. But it's like, I don't think I'd have survived with that lock on the door. So I do wonder if it's got more slightly better protected since. I doubt it somehow.
London, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Melody says, I was surprised there was a new school based in an Irish town. Turned out Kenny. It's
Ah.
nothing to do with County Donegal.
I have seen I've seen clips of the Letterkenny show. It's very American.
All right. Okay. Ah, yeah, I don't know that. My partner's mom is from Donegal,
Ah, okay.
so that's north of Northern Ireland. Yeah.
I've
Interesting.
still not been to Ireland, which is almost unforgivable considering it is literally from where
On
I
your
am, what,
doors?
30 minutes on a plane from
Yeah.
where I am.
Yeah. Hello, Sally. So Sally and Melody the cat are lurking. How lovely. Melody is such a cutie cat. We love cats.
We do love cats. Cats
You
are the
have a
best animal.
cat.
I do have a cat. I have my Bruce, who
He's
is I
not
don't.
very often on camera. I've seen him a couple of times. but
Yeah, he's
mostly not.
he's enjoying the weather right now. He's outside somewhere, so which is unusual. He's not really an outdoorsy cat anymore. He was when I got him, but he's decided he likes the pampered life a little bit more. But he's outside now, so like
Yeah. There's a Dublin in several states. My favorite is where I live now. It's incredibly racist, but there's Cuba, Mexico, and Versailles. They pronounce it. Oh, this is American pronunciation thing that I don't understand.
right. I presume
Versailles?
Versailles, maybe. Versailles is the correct way to say it, just to be clear.
Versailles. That's Versailles. Another foreign city names, yeah. Nothing you can't break then.
I can't break your system because it's already broken, I'm afraid. That's where your problem is. Your government has already done that, unfortunately. Not just yours as well. But there we go.
For Americans. Nala Hopkins is my favorite of those authors. Okay, I've not read anything. It's not an author that is familiar to me.
I don't recognize that one. I'm going to go and have a nosy. Do I recognize any of the books? I'm really bad at remembering names. So
yeah, same. That's one of my big problems.
Skinfolk sounds familiar. I think I've heard of that. But nothing's jumping out at me, but that name just rings a bell somewhere in my head.
Yeah. Be right back. Okay. Other ones attracting me are P. Julie Clark. Have I read anything by Clark? I don't think so.
Yeah, like I said, I read Ring Shout, which was fine. Well, no, I listened to the audio of Ring Shout. So, and it was inconsistent, shall we say. Some bits of it were amazing, the audio performance, one narrator all the way through. Some of it was amazing. Some of it was the worst narration I've ever heard from the same narrator when they were doing the voices. So, kind of took me out of it. A really interesting idea, though. Probably a bit too close to current US politics, actually, to be honest, disturbingly. Considering you put Lovecraftian monsters that feed on hate into a situation, that feels alarmingly close to the US political system right now.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I really like Neri Okorafor.
I need to read Binti. Is it Binti?
Yeah, Binti.
Yeah. It's been on my list for ages, and I keep, for whatever reason, forgetting it's there. Oh, I need to get around to that one.
Yeah. All right. So downloaded the sample of their out there screaming. Phil is the editor only. Okay. No story from him. Emma Newman is on my TBR list. I like her from social media. Yeah, she's lovely, and she's lovely in real life as well. I've met her on several occasions. She knows who I am, which I find kind of weird. Because she's one of my favorite authors. So it's like when you know your favorite authors, it's
It's a
so strange.
bit of an uncanny valley moment. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, I read I read her books before I had met her, of course. Um, and she was at Octocon in 2015. So I remember like having my books and getting them signed, and felt like such a fangirl. But she was like really really lovely, and she was like, oh, but I've been a fan, I'm a fangirl myself, so I can relate.
it's nice when you meet someone you're a fan of, though, and they're just a normal person as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Uh,
I don't believe that for a second, Cat. Or that. I've had conversations with you, Noah. I know that's not accurate.
yeah. My little things, they. My little things. I have watched the first episode of Central World. I have too much other stuff I'm more interested in seeing. I'm terrible getting around to watching things. Yeah, I can relate to that. It's like I have all these on Netflix. I have all these things ticked off as my watch list or something, but because I need to have like the brains or like the energy or the focus for it, and it's so much easier to focus on a book than
Yeah.
something on the TV.
Yeah, I get distracted so easily. It's getting worse as well as I get older, which is a little bit worrying. I've definitely not seen Centaur World. I'm just looking at it. So I've definitely not watched it. I think I've seen pictures of it about. It is very pro LGBTQ plus for representation, though, which is good. So very colourful as well.
Fair and understandable. It was a good time either way. I had plans to go to Vegas when I was in my 20s, but life happened and had no chance since. Yeah, it's just surreal. Not a place I would like to go back either, to be honest with you.
No, thing is, I have the wrong personality type to go to somewhere like Vegas. I know I do. So it's no.
I thought it was. I went to see Cirque du Soleil,
Yeah.
which is like the acrobatics. I thought that was very fun and cool, but I don't gamble.
No.
So I have zero interest in gambling.
No, I don't gamble because I know that if I do, I'd get in. It's a bit like my tendency of just buying books. It hits a certain thing, and I know it will, so I won't go near it. I won't touch it. Yeah.
Vegas occasionally gets permanent shows if some folks I'd like to see perform, but I feel like it's mostly a good people watching place if you don't drink and gamble. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I'd love to see the dome that they've got, like the big LED dome that they could put like the light shows on the inside and the outside that they've built.
All right. There was
So-
like a fountain show thing that I watched. But yeah,
But other than that, no. Then again, we're getting one in London, I believe, one of those domes, so it'll be fine. We'll just go there instead. It's a bit closer.
Beer safe.
Bear safe. It wasn't bear safe. We got in trouble off the wardens. Rephrase. My dad and his mate got in trouble off the wardens. They didn't see that I had alcohol because that wouldn't have been legal. But minor points.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's 21.
My brother actually gave me a really nice beer on Saturday. It was an whiskey cask oatmeal stout.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so quite a. Let me go and pick it because I had a bottle and then I brought one home for my partner. I'm going to go get it.
We like beer. We like alcohol.
Oh, I'm going to bring another bottle as well. You're not supposed to show alcohol on. Or are you supposed? Are you able? Or is it like a safe thing to do?
I think it's relatively safe, to be honest. It's only if someone complains about it, you'll probably get it. I don't think anyone here is going to moan, to
Yeah.
be fair.
So, oh,
So it is
it's very hard to see, isn't it?
something in gun I can't quite make.
I think it's because it's green.
It's the green screen, isn't it?
Amos and Gun, Irish whiskey cask, Scottish oatmeal stout.
Let's have another.
Can I turn off the?
Hang on. Right, hang on. Buy beer online UK. Yes, just allow. Yes, I'm of drinking age. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Sadly. Oh, okay. Oh, they have a few.
I was
Oh.
wondering if I could like to turn is it settings? Mirror my camera, virtual background. If I do a blur rather than
Nope.
No.
It's like not having it.
no. How about this?
Yeah, so it's ins and gun. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I've just
And then
wandered
I
to the
have
website.
another one.
Oh,
So this is actually in Norway we have a tradition of having Christmas beers. So this is one. Oh gosh, it's impossible to see anything. Also, I don't think the lighting is the best because I'm going to turn on a better lamp because the daylight is going. So I found my charger for my lamp. Oh.
I am now looking through the ins and gun alcohol.
So can you see this?
Oh, there we go. That's better. Oh, okay. Is that a chef?
No, no, that is. Can you assist me, my brother?
Hang on, it might just because I've got my screen on quite small.
Because it's a
Okay.
Flåklypa spesial. Nytes best med korken av. It's best enjoyed with the cork off.
With a what? Oh, with the cork off.
Yeah, for the cap off.
I mean, it does help.
It does.
Stop. No. I've made the mistake. So I think I've seen Innocent Gun stuff before, but only like the cans, the basic lager. I hadn't seen the bottles before, and I'm now on the website.
Yeah.
And
it's a really nice, but it's not for me.
No, there's Caribbean rum cask beer, which looks really nice. So I may have to I may have to invest in some for D&D night.
Yeah. Oh. It's very bright light. Bright light. This is very hard. Lighting is very hard.
Yeah, it's beginning to go dark here, but it's threatening to.
Horrible. This is horrible. That's maybe better. Yeah. I don't know.
There we go.
Oh well, it'll have to work. It'll be better once we have longer days.
Yeah, not that far away now.
No. June is the better month.
Yeah. Oh, it's the children outside playing. Just hearing random screams from the street.
Molida says, one time camping in Australia, I thought there was a man walking around our tent. It was a kangaroo. All our food was either in the car or hanging in the tree above the local animals' reach.
That is genuinely terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Like, not just the fact there's a kangaroo, but just the idea of camping in Australia.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like, not me. I'm not built for
I-
counting. I'm not built for that either, apparently. I'm not built for camping anyway, but
Nah. I'm not much of a camper.
no. I've been camping once in my life, never again.
I prefer sleeping in my bed.
Yes.
I love lovely walks in the woods and stuff, but as long as I don't have to sleep there, I'm fine.
Yeah. No, not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Oh, bye, Elaine. You're probably gone by now. It's
Bye,
15
Elaine.
minutes ago. I think Bruce might be a figment of your imagination.
He's definitely not a figment of my imagination. He just is
I've
outside.
seen, yeah, I've seen Bruce on camera,
Yeah.
tail and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes just the bum.
Yeah. Well, normally, he likes to show it off. Bless him. But yeah, like I say, he's outside somewhere.
Yeah. Break it properly the current brokenness. Yeah.
Things will get better eventually.
Eventually. Hopkins is Caribbean Canadian. Wrong Girl in the Ring is probably her most known, but it's her debut. Oh, yeah, Hopkins, the author. I was like, what? Yeah. London Airport is not in London.
That doesn't surprise me. Where I live, because we come under Salford City Council's.
Is there a London Airport? I know there's a London City Airport that is super close to London.
So there's London. Is it London Stansted? I think is the full name for it, but it's not actually in London.
Oh, right. That's
So
in the south, isn't it?
yeah, and then I think you've got.
Stansted. I've flown to Stansted. I've once. Never again.
Yeah, I think they might call it City Airport now because that's the sort of thing they do. They spend hundreds of pounds renaming it.
I've normally flown to Heathrow.
Yeah.
But once I flew from Dublin to London, and we landed on London City Airport, and that was very close to the city centre, or not to the city centre, but to London.
No, I know there's Luton as well, but
yeah.
One of my favourite things that someone once did was I can't remember which airport it was, but basically to panic all the passengers that were in a plane, just the passengers, not the pilots. They went and they arranged like on like the grass knolls outside to say it was a different airport, so that when it was banking to turn in, all the people look out the window and think they were going to the wrong airport, which just amuses me like immensely.
Yeah.
But
my favorite Hopkins was the Reds. The Reds Salt Road. The Salt Roads, yeah.
I might have to check that out at some point.
Hi, Cat.
Right. I hope your headache passes, Cat.
Yeah, take care of yourself. I started Molida says I studied Pinty as an audiobook, and I'm not good at concentrating on them. Well, they are novellas, so they're quite fairly quickly read as books.
I feel the pain of this comment.
Yeah. Yeah, so this was probably regarding Emma Newman. 2015 might have been where I started reading her social media. I'm not very good at getting through Mount TBR. Yeah, Mount TBR.
Never get smaller.
No, it just grows, doesn't it?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
don't
it does.
understand. I feel like I'm reading and reading and reading and reading, but it still doesn't get any smaller. It just grows.
Well, that's it. Last year, I read more than I've ever read in my life by a country mile. And yet my TBR is 3 times as long as it was at the start of the year. And it's like, how? Well, this doesn't make sense. But it's a good
Book
problem to have.
book buying.
That doesn't. We don't talk about book
habit.
buying. No, it's
No.
it's not a habit. It's an addiction.
My
I am
watch
aware
list
of
is
this.
so long. Yeah. My watch list is so long.
Yeah, I can't keep up anymore.
My YouTube one get too big, and I had to take videos out to put more in. That means 5,000 videos. Oh, holy, yeah.
That's a lot of videos.
I actually don't do the watch later thing because I know that I'll never get around to do it. I have problems keeping up with the ones I want to watch, and then so what I do is sometimes I go to people's channels and then I watch through several. You probably noticed that one
Yeah.
that you get like several comments
Yeah.
from me in like one
Yeah.
go.
I do it, especially if people do shorter videos as well. I tend to do that quite a bit because I'll just like bang them off one after the other. I did it with a lot of Dark Stars today actually because it's like I'd just fallen
Yeah, I'm
behind.
there. Yeah.
And
Oh, so me
a
too.
Dark Star always has pretty books, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to see all the pretty books.
Pretty hat.
Pretty hat, pretty books. It's like it's just not fair.
Hmm.
But yeah, I add stuff to my watch later, but then once a week I'll go through my watch later list. I'll then go, you know what, realistically not going to get to that, or that. And just trim it again and then watch the ones that I know I've got time for. But which sounds awful, but there's only so many hours in the day.
I have brought the Katie. She has a question. Okay.
I can't answer this question on stream. To be clear, I know what the question's about. I cannot talk about this on a live stream. Nothing to do with me, just to be clear. But
watermelon. I like watermelons. Do you like watermelons?
I do like watermelon. They're horribly expensive in the UK, though.
Everything has gotten expensive in the UK.
That is true, and I work at a cheap place for stuff like this. I'm just waiting, and it happens every year. But we'll hit a certain point of the year, watermelons switch from being priced per item to price per kilo. And so there's a sign that says, I don't know, £1.9 per kilo. And everyone comes up with these massive watermelons and gets really upset when it's not £1.9 for the entire watermelon because they don't read the sign. And it's every year, and it annoys me.
People are like in general really bad at reading signs.
Unless the sign's wrong, at which point every time they'll catch it, and it's like, please just go away. Leave me alone.
I'd like to go to Vegas for Cirque du Soleil. Oh yeah, they're good. But then sometimes they do tours as well, so you could go like on a tour.
I know we've had them in London a few times. I think Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. But thanks to TV, my biggest association with Vegas is murder.
I mean, that's kind of my biggest association with the US, awful though it sounds. And
Same with Florida. Yeah.
I have never felt as wet as when I went to Florida because we got caught in a proper thunderstorm, and it was mind blowing to me. I've never known rain.
Same with Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother says I follow a channel on YouTube who do whiskey reviews. Oh. We the people at the airport at Dublin Airport, they're terrible. They are really, really good at selling whiskey. So we came home with another new kind of whiskey after being in Dublin. We're running out of space in our cupboard with whiskey.
Oh, we have someone that I work with. He's like a proper whiskey nut. He's from like Scottish family, so kind
Hmm.
of makes sense a little bit. And he was there,
Yeah.
so, oh no, you've just not found the right whiskey yet. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, so which one? And he told me which one. It's like, how much is that? This was before I was on what I'm on now in terms of money. And he's there,
Mhm.
it's like, oh yeah, it's only £126 a bottle. It's like, that's why I've not found the right one yet, because I'm not paying that much for something I'm just going to drink. Thank you.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. It's like, yeah, but you were trying to buy an £8,000 watch. Come on now. No.
Who has that kind of money?
Well, he's the same
Not
position as I am at
not
work.
librarians.
No, well, he's on the same way. Well, no, he's not on the same wage as me. He's on more than me because he's done it longer, but with the same position now. But I'm
Mhm.
looking at him going, I cannot just, I don't know where. I don't know. He must be into money laundering or something. He's got to be. He's not. I should add that. That's a joke.
Rich family.
No, not really.
Huh.
But it's like, I don't understand. And he's got kids now as well, so he definitely can't afford that anymore.
Innis is pronounced Inish from the Irish Innis Island. Oh, right.
I did not know that.
When I was speaking about beer safe doors.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. I wish I could consistently swipe that. Oh well. I'd rather camp in Australia than Ireland. Uh, I'd rather not camp. Period. Otherwise, one place where it rained so much, the campsite was mud. Sounds like Ireland. Okay, all right. But other than that, Australia is much more consistent weather-wise. Yeah, but it's better not to. I'd rather not camp. London Airport is on E-Day. About 500 miles north of London. How much is 500 miles?
A lot.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense to me. So.
Oh, there's more than one London airport. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, so it's 500 English miles converts to about 80 Norwegian miles.
Okay, so there is
804.67200 kilometers.
Okay, so there's an E-Day London airport, which is in the Orkney Isles in Scotland, just to confuse things even more.
Oh.
It's like, why? So there's London Gatwick, London Southend, London Luton, London City Airport, London Stansted, Groton and New London Airport, Heathrow Airport, and then the one in the Orkney Islands.
Mm.
Why?
I don't know. Molida has read Eminem After Atlas without reading Planetfall. But yeah, but you can read After Atlas without reading Planetfall. Yeah, oops, but it worked on its own. Yeah, and I loved it. Yeah. So I think you can read most of the Planetfall books as standalones. I read them as they came out though, so.
Right, Katie, if you're still here, I will message you in a bit and explain the watermelon comment. I definitely cannot discuss it on here.
I'm very curious about the watermelon.
No, I genuinely cannot discuss it on here. It was definitely a not safe for work comment.
I'll leave it.
So, yeah.
And with that, I'm going back to my black hole. Oh, good night, Noah.
He's not gone. He's still here.
Yeah, but good night, because you're probably going.
He'll probably pass out at some point just on his
apparently
keyboard.
I'm not going. Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen Cirque du Soleil in Dublin. long time ago. I think they've even been to Norway, also a long time ago. Time to get drinking. Whiskey?
I probably do have whiskey downstairs, actually. I just acquire whenever we have Dungeons and Dragons nights, everyone fetches their alcohol and then leaves what's left here. So my pile just gets bigger and bigger after every time we do it. It's great.
Yeah. My brother says my comment show up some time after you have talked about what I commented on. Yeah, because we talk about things and then I click on they don't show up until I click on them because we're behind. That's how YouTube works. A beer safe door is too complicated to open when drunk. Okay.
Depends if it's a push door, they just fall through it and it's fine.
500 miles is how much I'd walk to fall down by your door.
It's I think, unless I'm mistaken, that is a music reference to I would walk 500 miles by. Is it the Pretenders? I can't think. Yeah, I would walk 500 miles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I presume that's a lyric from that. I can't remember off the top of my head. In fact, yeah, it is. It is a lyric from that. There we go.
Yeah.
Why do I always message you? I've spent the day with you. Stop being needy. Honestly.
What about me?
Such a baby.
Yeah. KP, bye.
Hi, Katie. Proclaimers. Who did I say? Definitely not who I said. The Pretenders. Nope, that's definitely not right.
Someone says, yeah, I live a couple of miles from London Southend Airport. Handy. Proclaimers.
That's the band, not the Pretenders, like I said.
I didn't know which band was singing it, but I knew the song.
Yeah.
But I don't know the lyrics. I know the melody. And I know there's something 500 miles.
Just hear screaming outside. It's fine. Is that with Bye Noah for the third time? Is that us caught up with the chat? We've actually caught up with the chat.
We have caught up with the chat.
It's taken 2 hours for us to get there, but we've caught up with the chat.
We caught up. Yeah. Is that a sign? Or is it not a sign? Or should we actually talk about books? Oh, we talked about books.
We did touch on books. What are you reading at the moment, though?
I'm reading several books. But my main focus right now is this. Oh.
The Myth of Normal.
Yeah. Which is only like...
How many pages is that?
Okay, I think it's about... So the thing is, it has a lot of reference stuff. It has a lot of reference.
Okay.
So 502 including acknowledgements. And then there's notes. So there's like over 40 pages of notes.
That's a lot of notes.
And then there's index pages.
So what is that about then? What is it?
It's about I can read on the back. That's the easiest thing to do. Western countries invest billions in healthcare, yet chronic disease and mental illness are on the seemingly unstoppable rise. So what is normal when it comes to health? Over 4 decades of clinical experience, renowned physician and addiction expert Dr. Gabor Mate has seen how health systems neglect the role that trauma exerts on our bodies and our minds. Medicine often fails to treat the whole person, ignoring how today's culture burdens our bodies and our immune systems and undermines emotional balance.
Yes,
So it's
that
quite
sounds
interesting.
like a really interesting and important read
Yeah,
at a time like this. Hello, Margaret.
yeah. Hi,
It's
Margaret. How are you doing? Good.
how did your productivity stream go that you were doing?
Are you still streaming, Margaret? Or you
That was
just...
that sounds really, really interesting because balance is a really hard thing to find at the
Mm,
moment, and it's never a static thing either. Because what means balance one day doesn't match the next, so it's a constantly
mm,
fluid thing. But
yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of things that we see it in the UK here. Education about being healthy is just a big failing
Mm,
on such a level. But yeah,
yeah.
well, I've got 2 books. I'm still
Margaret
listening.
was just, yeah. She was just like, I was productive, says Margaret, and
Nice,
done streaming. No, onto the next task, which not with camera, then onto a bookstore.
nice.
Oh, which bookstore are you going to, Margaret? Are you
I am
planning? Is there any specific books you have in mind?
avoiding bookstores for the immediate future.
Mm.
But I have 2. I'm listening to an audiobook, a T. Kingfisher audiobook, actually, ironically enough.
All right, which one?
So it's Paladin's Grace, which has been
All
out
right.
for quite a while. I suppose, wholesome romantasy, I suppose is the
Mm.
best way of describing it. It's quite sweet, it's quite funny. Not really my vibe, but it's okay. It's decently narrated. It's made me chuckle a few times, so I've nearly finished that. I think I've got like 3 hours left to go. And then obviously my next one is going to there goes my thing. It's got to be This Beauty, which is again not a small book.
But it's fantasy, so it shouldn't be a surprise.
No, so it's like 580 pages, including the dramatis persona, because they've actually done the nice thing of putting a list of the characters at the back for when I forget who they are, which is really useful for reviews on a side point. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. And I mean, it has a map. Like, give me a map in a book like that, and I am so happy.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a good one.
It's a nice map.
Oh,
So
I should go and speaking of maps, I'm going to go and find. So this will be my partner's copy because the books are originally in Norwegian.
Please don't fall off.
And I have them in a box.
I do like maps.
Maps are good.
Like if a book has a map in it, especially well, it's all right. We went off the rails earlier, Margaret. We had lots of talks. We spoke about watermelons. We spoke about airports. We spoke about what else did we speak about? We spoke about so many things that were not book related. Here we go. The green screen strikes again.
I know. I'm going to.
I will say a map in a book automatically gets it half a star at least every time.
So this is Odin's Child, which is the first in a trilogy by C.D. Pettersen. It's such a good book. I read it when it came out in Norwegian, of course. And the C.D. Pettersen, the author, she is a designer, graphic designer. So she does the book covers herself. So.
Oh, that's not. You know what? You wouldn't expect that the ending to that image on the inside of the dust jacket like that. I like that's really smart.
And then you have the map.
I love a map.
Yeah. A fantasy book should have a map, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is it a real fantasy book if it doesn't have a map? There's another map in the back.
In my head, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, because I get I get lost where I don't always be just based on what's being said. Sometimes I suppose this might be a failure of the writing, I guess, but I can't always judge out where things are in the world without a map as a reference point. And also having the map as a reference point helps me add timelines to things, because quite a lot of books, Wheel of Time is really guilty of this on a side point, because I'm rereading that at the moment. You don't get a clear idea of how long and how far everything is away and how long the story's taken. And I hadn't realized that Wheel of Time is apparently only like 3 years long, the entire saga, because I assumed it was like a lot longer. I don't know, the show that they're doing for not Netflix, on Amazon is apparently they're extending it to a 10-year time frame, partially because it's going to take them that long to film the thing, and actors are going to age, so it makes sense. And to be fair, it makes more sense for the story. But it's all books should have maps, absolutely. Every book, all of them. Give me maps.
Yeah. Margaret is going to a couple next town.
Nice.
To me. Oh, new bookshops.
I hope you find some decent books and some bargains while you're out and about.
Yeah, pretty good map. That was in your book, Ben.
Yeah.
Why am I the only one commenting on? It says 8 watching.
Yeah, so we've gone off topic a few times.
Yeah. I think there's been quite a few people watching, but mostly people have been lurking. And also, if you want to take part in the chat, you have to be a subscriber. But you only have to be a subscriber for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it's a good way of keeping the spam bots away, that one.
yeah, that's the main reason. It's if you want to unsubscribe after Be My Guest, but then you and also there's some Hermie was calling them something, but yeah, some annoying. There's some people that comes in just to troll and stuff, and then they don't bother to wait the 5 minutes. So
yeah,
Molly got love maps. We all do.
So I'm just double checking something. So time.
Have fun. Bye, Margaret.
Map.
Books should have maps, says my brother. Yeah. I think my brother reads a lot of historical nonfiction as well. So maps are really good in those books as well.
Yeah. Especially with the amount the world's changed as well. So you can sort of figure out where stuff is.
Imagine if contemporary fiction had maps. Actually, I read Flight by Olga T something. She's from Poland, I think. And there were actually maps inside the book as well.
I like that.
Yeah. Wheel is only 2 years. I only got to about book 8, and it felt a lot longer than that.
Yeah. So, nothing's fully confirmed, but they start at between the ages of 16 and 22. And I think they only age by about 3 years over the entire course of the story, which doesn't make sense to me. But the other thing is, I hadn't realized this until a few years ago, how long a period Lord of the Rings takes as a thing, because obviously I'd watched the films, and that is quite a vast period of time that story's meant to take as well. It's not meant to be a couple of years, and you don't always get that sense in fantasy, in particular, the passage of time very well.
Yeah.
Because I generally thought that Wheel of Time was a decade. Like.
Yeah. Oh, no, I want to reread Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I need to.
I keep saying that.
I need to get my copy of the Silmarillion back off a friend of mine.
Oh, I have a really lovely copy of Silmarillion. Or
yeah,
I have a reading one and a pretty on the bookshelf one with a lot of art in it.
Yeah, I need to go back, especially now that I'm reading Wheel of Time again as well, because book one in particular, rereading it this time, it's still really well written and I still love it, but it felt so derivative in a lot of ways to Lord of the Rings with the way it's set up and the way it works. So it
Okay.
reads like Lord of the Rings,
All right.
which I don't remember noticing it last time around, but it's like beat for beat, it hits a lot of the similar things.
All right. I
Um,
haven't read Wheel of Time.
no, there's a lot of Wheel of Time, potentially more than there should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people talk about the sort of slog in the middle, which I never found reading it, but I read Wheel of Time before I read Lord of the Rings, though.
All right. Lovely spam, wonderful spam, lovely spam, wonderful spam. For those who don't know, this is of course a Monty Python reference. Let alone Monty Python.
It's a good job Noah's not here because he'd be telling us facts about spam and cannibals again.
What?
So he every time it comes up, he tells people about this fact to do with spam and cannibals.
All right. There was one stream I joined where you had to wait 24 hours to comment. 24 hours. I don't see the point in that. I mean, 5 minutes is actually enough from my experience.
Yeah.
Because people who are interested will willingly wait 5 minutes, but and you get to like get off. I think the thought behind the 24 hours is to get subscribers and keep them. That people forget that they subscribed.
Yeah, but that, from what I've read, which I don't know how accurate it is because YouTube algorithm is bonkers at the best of times.
Mm-hmm.
The problem you have is if you then have all these subscribers and you put your videos out, if they don't interact with your video, it then doesn't push it out into the main algorithm as much, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I look at my stats, and a lot of people watch both videos and streams. So
yeah, similar.
And shorts. I don't do a lot of shorts though. It's mostly when I travel and visit bookshops.
My brain cannot compute shorts at all. I don't know what it is. Not watching them, fine. I'll just spend hours scrolling if I don't stop myself. But making them, my brain just can't compute for whatever reason.
Yeah. Apparently, the Lord of the Rings quest is a year or shorter, but the early bits are like 30 to 50 years. Mollydot doesn't like spam.
No.
I don't think I've ever tried spam.
I think any sort of meat in a tin. No.
Yeah. Spam and Cannibal sounds like a self-published RPG.
Yeah. So what apparently it is, and I don't know how true this is. I don't know how he found this out. But apparently when you're treating people who are cannibals, it causes a chemical reaction in the brain because of how close it's same meat. So it does actually have some sort of chemical reaction. And obviously you need to wean people off this because it's almost like an addiction. And spam is the closest thing to human meat you can give somebody to actually start to wean them off without ill effects, which is a horrific thing to really think about. And I checked, and this is, and it's absolutely. I want to know how someone found this out. Well, I do this quite often. It's like, how do we get to some of these points of, especially when it involves eating things? How did we find out what these things do? Like, genuinely.
Have you read Tender is the Flesh?
No, I've not. It's on my list.
Speaking of cannibals.
Yeah, no, I've not. Maybe for when I do Don't Die July, I still know Noah's done a bingo board for it.
All right.
Because
it just came out. Yeah, I've read it in English, but it just came out in Norwegian. So I might actually read it in Norwegian translation as well.
I'm trying to remember if I actually have it because I know Jaleesa read it. I think. My brain is from. I think it was Jaleesa. I think. Have I got? No, I've not got it. Okay. Either that or I'm spelling tender wrong, which is distinctly possible.
Tender.
Yeah, no, I've not got it. Okay. I've got something else that's a really similar cover, but I can't remember what it's called.
Mm.
But
Dunno.
I don't know. I've got that much stuff on my e-reader. It's just ridiculous at this point.
Yeah. Apparently, pigs and humans are very alike, both in taste and in medicine.
I have heard that actually.
Yeah. And pigs are really intelligent as well.
Yeah. Again, though,
like
my question is,
toddlers.
yeah, who is biting a pig and then biting a human to compare the taste? That is the question that I always come back to. Who thinks that's a good idea?
I don't know.
But the world is a mad
Dollar?
place.
Maybe dollar.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. That's a character.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Sada says the only time I ate spam was when we had spam fritters for school dinners. Yuck.
Yep. That or Bacon Grill was the other one that was quite big when I was growing up in the 90s, 80s and 90s.
Well, we didn't have school dinners.
Well, no, you could just buy it in the supermarket and it was horrible. Like, just no.
We had our packed food lunches.
I took packed lunch.
Bread
to
with
be fair.
spread. Bread with spread.
Yeah, no, I took packed lunches to school. And then I used to get incessantly bullied because my gran had cut them up into little triangles all the way through school, even like when I was a teenager. And it's like, yeah, I don't care. Like, whatever.
You could get crisps as well in your packed lunch. That's so British to me.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not really allowed to do that anymore because it's against schools' health. It does depend on the school, but a lot of schools have healthy eating policies now. So you're not allowed chocolate or anything else in the school lunchbox. They still don't teach you about healthy eating in school or how to cook healthy meals, but you're not allowed crisps. And then everyone just goes to the local supermarket, buys chocolate pop and cake as soon as they finish school.
Yeah. Melodot says Google Play Books doesn't have Odin's Trials available in Ireland, but it seems like a good book that to have in a physical form. It does. And I actually have it as an ebook in Norwegian, but I wonder if it's in Libby. Libby. Odin's Child. Can I do like a deep search? Yes. Depending on if you have. So this is the Odin's Child link. But I think the problem with the Libby Share app, share links, they show only American libraries. They don't show in other countries. Anyway, spam is very popular in Hawaii, which makes me more curious about it. Hawaii.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I have no clue. My I don't like spam comment was also a Monty Python reference. Oh, right, sorry.
I need to go back and watch. I'm not sure which one am I due to rewatch again. I tend to alternate them. I think it's Life of Brian I need to rewatch next. Monty Python.
Oh, I haven't watched any of them. I have, but I think it's on the other side of the country. I have like a box set with Monty Python stuff.
Yeah. No, I need to. I'm due a rewatch. It's been I tried to get my kids to watch it. Unsurprisingly, it didn't go well. But no, they don't. They're a bit like me. They don't really do watching stuff as much. So long form content seems to be an issue. So,
Yeah. The worst was a beef burger hot
oh, that
hot pot.
I have never had beef burger hot pot. It sounds horrible. I do like hot pot though. Like proper Lancashire hot pot makes me happy. But
What is a hot pot?
it's kind of like a stew, but it
Mm.
right. I'd say I've realised what I was about to say then might not make sense because it might vary by where you are in the UK actually. But here it's kind of like a potato and meat stew, but it's got like a pastry top, but literally just a pastry top, no other pastry. So it's not a pie, but it's weird. I've not had one for years actually, but it's basically like halfway between a stew and a pie, pretty much. So,
Mm.
oh
It just might work better for the kids.
yeah,
Many of them are quite surreal.
yeah. The one that always
I
comes
think
to
it
my
depends on the kid.
yeah,
really.
the two that always stick in my head. One's the dead parrot sketch.
I love the
That's
dead bone.
yeah. That one's always
He's Norwegian blue.
yeah, and then the other one is I'd forgotten that little fact actually. And the other one was I think it's a lie to me thing. No, the disagreement sketch where they can't agree with each other, so he's paying someone to argue with him. And
Oh.
as soon as he walks in the room, they argue with each other. It's John Cleese and I want to say it's Michael Palin as the other one that's involved with it, and that was that sticks in my head as well. That was just amazing.
I just thinking about the parrot sketch makes me laugh because
Yeah,
it's like this. He's pining for the fjords.
this is a dead parrot. Bang! No, it's not.
Sleeping. Norwegian blue parrot. He's pining for the fjords.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No. One of the best. That's not an argument. Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Oh, simple things.
Yeah. But also, I think the films are really funny as well.
Yeah. So it's been a while since
Yeah.
I've rewatched them, but he's
Come
not the
back,
Messiah.
Bite your legs off.
Oh, he's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
You're all individuals. I'm not. I confused people in a sprint recently by saying someone was piping for the fjords. Oh, I would have died of laughter. I guess the parrot is great. It is. You oh, yeah. On that note, it's getting late here.
Yes, because you're an hour ahead, aren't you? So you'll be pushing 10 o'clock now, won't you?
And I had dinner fairly shortly after. I left work. I was home by 4, I think, and then I had dinner like 4:30 or something. And now it's almost 10 o'clock. So I'm starting to get hungry again.
Yeah, I had cereal when I got home because I wasn't in the mood to cook, and now I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I'll go and make some because I'm probably going to be up for a few more hours. So
it's nice to have something warm.
Yeah, I can't justify making nachos again though.
Yeah, you can.
I can't. I've had it the last 2 days.
So
I don't even know.
What you want? That's fine.
I just want all the food. This is the problem. Just feed me everything.
Yes.
But
yeah, we did talk about books.
We did. And we've gone nearly 2.5 hours as well.
Yeah.
Which I don't think's bad.
No.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. It was much fun.
nachos with something different in them. I mean, that could work. I could do. I don't know. I don't even know what I've got in the house.
Mm,
It's a
baked
depressing.
beans.
Oh yeah, I've got beans. Like beans on toast. That feels a bit too. And a cup of tea feels a bit too British, but
It's nice.
it is
It's
nice.
not just British. The Irish
No.
also do that, so you can pretend to be Irish.
That could work. I've downloaded 3 book samples because of this stream.
Yay!
I've not bought any. I've been really good, although I do have a list next to me now of books that I'm going to take a look at when I come off. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Oh, right, yeah.
But thank you for having
Anyway,
me. And you're
thank you for
streaming.
coming.
You're streaming
I'm
Baldur's Gate
streaming
tomorrow, right?
tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow at sometime. Don't remember the time.
Some part of the day.
Some part of the day. It's for me. It's later in the day. Because it's gaming. No, I haven't put it in my calendar.
I've got it in my head
Like,
that it's like 5 o'clock-ish, I think. Got it in my
sounds
head.
about right because it's UK time. Let's see. Channel.
I absolutely do, Molly Dot, and also a bit of Worcestershire sauce in it sometimes as well, just to add a little bit of spice.
So I'm going to copy the link to the. You have great cheddar. I like a tin of beans stuffed with cheese. Oh, yeah.
I
So
love.
this is the. Sorry.
It's all right.
You were saying you love.
Yeah, Worcester sauce makes nearly everything better in my mind. Other than trying to say it, if you're just trying to read it as written, because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, well, there we go. I need to.
I must try that, says Molodot. And this is the link to the. Stream.
I need to go back into Baldur's Gate. I built my new character. I played a little bit of it, and I think I'm going back to Ranger.
I'm still on Act 1.
Yeah. There's a lot in Act 1, to be fair.
There is. I don't know how many hours I've played, but it's a few.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm going back to my Ranger build, my original Ranger build again, but then tweaking it from level 5 onwards because there's a new subclass that works very nicely after level 5 with Ranger. So I'm going to give that a try and see how it works out, I think. Because also I keep failing my armor throws as a wizard, and I don't like that at all because wizard's squishy. So
yeah. So yeah, I just checked. The stream is at 5 o'clock UK and Irish time, and 6 o'clock here.
Something to look forward to.
I hope I'll see you around.
So, you certainly shall.
Yeah.
But
Bye.
that's it. Night all.